everybody, it's Mrs. Brown, your garden teacher from Ground Education, and today I'm in my backyard and I am going to show you my worm house where my red wiggler worms live. In the ways we can help the planet reduce, reuse, recycle, and rot. Rot is my favorite as a garden teacher because it's nature's way to make sure that all the nutrients that a plant drank up from the soil get returned back to the soil. And there are lots of critters involved in decomposition. Some we can see with our eyes, some we can only see with a microscope. But I happen to have here a bin full of special worms called red wigglers that are fantastic at rot or decomposition. They live here in this box in my backyard, and you can see that their house has holes in it because just like us, these worms need air to breathe, and it's black. And it's black because that keeps the sunshine out, and worms are underground critters and they spend most of their life in the dark and in the shade. So that's why their house looks like this. They live in here, and after I've served lunch to my kids and my cats and myself, I can put the parts of the plant that we didn't eat into this house for the worms. Worms can eat anything that is a plant or used to be a plant. So for my worms lunch today, they are going to get some cucumber peels. So I had cucumber today. They're going to get a banana peel. See, I ate the inside, and now they're going to eat the outside and make sure there's no trash. They're going to get some coffee grounds. I made coffee this morning, and coffee comes from a bean of the coffee plant, so they can go in. I'm going to put in a tea bag because everything that's inside the tea bag that's used to make tea comes from a plant as well. It's all different kinds of herbs. And the bag itself is made out of paper. Why do you think that a worm can eat paper? If you're thinking that worms can eat paper because paper comes from trees, you are right. It's the same reason I can feed them part of the newspaper that I read today that came to my house. Now I bury this, and the worms, once I put the lid on, can do the work of eating through all of these plants, and everything that comes out of the worm's body are nutrients and fertilizer for the soil. So I'm going to see if I can show you some of my worms. I'll come a little closer to the camera. At any given time, there could be 2,000 to 4,000 worms living in my worm house. Some of them are nice and big and full grown, and when they are, they're red. That's why they're named red wiggler. But you can see on the back of this red one is a little tiny white one, and that's what the baby worms look like. And they all live together, happily eating through all the food that I give them. And once the worms have eaten through all of this plant material from my kitchen, I can take what's left, which will be the good garden fertilizer, and sprinkle it in the soil around my garden. And that's how worms do their part in the process of rot. They eat through all old plant material and get those nutrients back into the soil. So there's never any trash cans or waste in nature. All right, well, I hope that you are taking care of yourself and taking care of each other and taking care of your place. And I hope you take a minute to notice the nature near you, and hopefully I will see you in a garden real soon.